Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something specific. One of you shared Aang's notes on Fishkeeping, Part 101.
Ah, yes, the April 30th post from 2025.
Exactly. It's about this curious browning happening right in the center of some common Salvinia plants in an outdoor pond.
Mm-hmm. It's quite a specific pattern.
So our mission today is to sort of unpack what might be causing this based on Aang's observations.
Sounds good. Aang provided some decent photos, too, which really show that central discoloration. It's not affecting the whole plant, which is interesting.
Okay, so Aang ran through the usual suspects, right? When plants will cough.
Yep, the standard checklist. Pests, specifically the Salvinia weevil, was mentioned. Nutrient issues, light problems, maybe too much, maybe too little.
Temperature extremes, poor water quality in general, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Basically start broad and try to narrow it down. Standard procedure for any aquarist or pond keeper, really.
But Aang pretty quickly started thinking most of those probably weren't it for this specific issue anyway. They mentioned microclimates in the ponds.
Right. The thinking there, I believe, is that the ponds have these very little zones.
So if it was something big, like a generally bad water or not enough light overall?
You'd likely see it affecting more plants, or perhaps affecting plants more uniformly, not just this focused browning in the middle of some of them.
Okay. That makes sense. It points towards something more direct.
Precisely. Something that happens specifically to those parts of those plants.
So with the broader environmental factors looking less likely, Aang started focusing more on water quality, but in a specific way, high salinity.
Yes, specifically the possibility of localized high salinity. This wasn't about the whole pond suddenly becoming too salty.
And what triggered that thought?
Well, the timing. Aang had apparently added some aquarium salt, the kind with blue iodine, just a few days before noticing the browning.
Okay, applying salt isn't unusual, but what's the theory here?
Aang's hypothesis, and it is just a hypothesis based on the info, is that maybe the salt granules didn't dissolve and spread out immediately like they're supposed to.
You mean like some grains landed directly on the Salvinia leaves, instead of dissolving in the water column first?
Exactly that. Imagine little crystals of salt just sitting there,
Yeah.
right on the surface tissues in the center of the plant.
Ooh, okay. That would definitely be a high concentration right there.
It certainly would. Much higher than the surrounding water. And salt, as you know, draws moisture out.
So it could have essentially like burned or desiccated those central cells it was touching.
That's the idea. It fits the observation localized damage, right where the salt might have landed, appearing shortly after the salt was added.
It's a plausible explanation for that very specific pattern.
It is. And it's a good reminder, actually, about how we add things to our tanks or ponds, making sure salts or meds are fully dissolved before they can just land on sensitive plants or critters.
Yeah, good point. Prevent that direct contact burn.
So Aang's current working theory, based on what they saw, points pretty strongly towards this localized salt issue.
Okay, so that's the main takeaway from Aang's notes on this particular Salvinia issue. Localized high salinity from undissolved aquarium salt seems the most likely cause.
It seems to be Aang's leading explanation, yes.
Which makes you wonder, and maybe makes you listening wonder too, have you ever seen weird specific damage like this on your aquatic plants? What did you think caused it?
It's always interesting to compare notes on these things. Sometimes the cause is obvious, sometimes it's a bit of a mystery like this one initially was.
Definitely. And it really highlights how something seemingly small, like how you add salt, can have these visible effects.
It really does. It encourages careful observation, doesn't it? Really looking at your plants, understanding their specific needs, how sensitive they might be to changes or direct contact with additives.
Absolutely. Keep a close eye on your own aquatic setups. You might spot something interesting.
And maybe think about how substances get introduced. It's not just what you add, but the method, too. Aang's observation is a neat little case study in that.
A very good point to end on. Precision matters, even with the simple stuff. Well, thanks for exploring this one with me.
My pleasure. Always interesting to puzzle these things out.
And for you listening, keep observing, keep questioning. You never know what you'll learn from just looking closely at your own little aquatic world.